All right, Steve, live for us.
Thank you,
so
Steve.
much. It's interesting. I mean, this comes at such an unsettling time.
Yeah,
you know, at the convention.
And of course, he delayed his vice president pick. Donald Trump did, because of everything that was going on in East France. And then after that, we had the attempted coup going on in Turkey. So it was a very busy weekend over the weekend, including, of course, eventually
the vice presidential pick.
Yes, announcing Mike Pence.
I think it was one of the most Google searches over the weekend. Who is Mike Pence? How tall is Mike Pence?
And so the question would be, what does he bring to the ticket, and how will Trump's pick impact Hillary Clinton as she chooses her own running mate?
Well, let's ask our panel, Republican strategist Cathy Lynn Taylor and CAPRI CAFARO, a Democratic state senator from Ohio. Good morning, ladies. Thanks so much for waking up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Ohio.
Welcome to Ohio. All right, Cathy Lynn, let's start with you, Governor Mike Pence. I mean, that's what everyone's talking about over the weekend, the vice presidential pick. Why do you think Donald Trump ended up choosing Mike Pence? What does he bring to the ticket?
Well, look, Governor Pence is certainly a traditional pick for an untraditional candidate. And what he brings to the table is significant governing experience, both as governor of Indiana and as a former congressman. And he really should give Republican voters some confidence that this is a ticket devoted to consistent, strong conservative values like strong jobs and a strong national security. And I think that's what Trump was aiming to do with this pick. And Governor Pence should certainly be able to do that. What's interesting about Governor Pence is that I think it's the things that people may not know as well about him that make him particularly interesting for Donald Trump. The fact that he ran for Congress twice before getting elected and making third time the charm. The fact that he started a radio show and has done a lot of tax reduction for Indiana. He's very entrepreneurial. So I think his fighting spirit, his entrepreneurialism, might actually be the things that make him the best fit for Trump.
Yeah, he called his radio show, Heather, his early radio show, Rush Limbaugh on decaf.
Well, CAPRI, we just mentioned some of the things that are pretty well known about him. He was elected governor back in 2012, and then from 2001 to 2013.
Long-term member of Congress.
The U.S. House of Representatives. It was chair of the House Republican Conference. Voted for Cruz, though, in the primary. We know that as well because Donald Trump referenced it.
Sure.
So what does all of that, the experience, bring to the table?
You know, I think that Governor Pence, certainly because of his track record in Indiana as a job creator, someone that comes from humble beginnings, someone that, brings strong evangelical, Christian and conservative credentials to the table, are all good things for Mr. Trump to try to unify the Republican Party. On the flip side, from the Democratic perspective, sitting here in Ohio, one of the most important swing states come November, I believe that Donald Trump is going to need Democrats in order to win. His appeal to the Reagan Democrats, the white, blue-collar male who is concerned about NAFTA and trade agreements and job creation. And Mike Pence is someone who is for TPP, who is for right to work, and I'm not necessarily sure how those things are going to play with the all-important crossover Democratic voter.
Cathy Lynn, I mean, Hillary Clinton's team is already on the attack, saying this is the most extreme VP pick in a generation. How is this going to impact who she ends up choosing for her VP candidate?
Yeah, I think she would like to, her team would like to think this does not put a lot of pressure on them because he's a pretty traditional type of candidate, Governor Pence, but actually puts enormous pressure on the Clinton team. First of all, Mike Pence should deliver Indiana, which, let's remember, voted for Obama in 2008, so that puts pressure on Hillary right there. And I think it really shores up Republicans in a way that's going to make it particularly difficult for someone like Clinton to pick them off as voters. And finally, the Republican bench is very, very deep. I think that's going to be one of the most exciting things for voters to see this week in Cleveland, is that there's enormous talent coming up in the Republican ranks. Joni Ernst, Senator Dan Sullivan from Alaska, there's tremendous talent out there. And I think that really shows that with this pick, and I think that's going to be really hard for Hillary on her side.
It'll be very interesting because, he does also need to pick up those swing voters in the swing states, the independents, some of those Democrats that would cross over. And CAPRI, remember, he did say that he started out as a Democrat. So we'll talk about that a little bit more when you guys come back. Thank you so much. Cathy Lynn Taylor, CAPRI CAFARO. Thank you.
Thank you.